what are the important things that come in the domain of current affairs, people? I've just put it down here. And in current affairs, basically, you will have things like sports. So some of the most important sports events of the year 2017, both domestic and international. So if there is something called as IPL, that becomes basically the domestic sport event. In international sports event, you can have things like the Women's World Cup, right? Or any kind of ICC. We had this championships, right? So both domestic and international sports events can feature in current affairs. The second thing that might come in current affairs is basically awards and honors. So, for example, we had the Nobel Prize being announced in the month of October, right? So, you have the international awards and you have the national awards. So, for example, National Filmfare Awards and the Oscar Awards would go down as the international awards. So, both awards and honors, international and of the at the national level, can be important. Then the third current affairs topic that I think could be there is basically events from polity. For example, Ramnath Govind has become the new president of the country. So you will not get a question. People, that's what I'm telling you. When there is lots and lots of content available, you have to basically just be very, very selective. Understand, if I ask you who is the chairman of XYZ commission, is it easy for you to remember that? You tell me. If I ask you a question, who is the chairperson of the XYZ commission, how many of you can answer this? No matter how many times you have gone through this question, it will be very difficult for you to answer such questions. So my point is, you must learn to divide what is important, what is significant, and what is not important. You're not preparing for UPSC exam, for which you have 1 year and you can prepare at your own leisure. In exams like IIFT, you will always have questions from very, very important event. And when I say very, very important event, my handwriting is, people, please try to connect my handwriting with my voice, because my handwriting is very bad and it's difficult for me to write with a digital pen. But understand that when I say current affairs, it basically means sports event 2017, domestic and international sports event. And you have awards and honors for the year 2017. See, I would not ask you the Nobel Prize for the year 2015, 2014, 2013, but I will definitely ask you the Nobel Prize for the year 2017, because that is current event. So if India has struck a deal with some kind of, with some country, and that has become really the biggest business event of the year, then that might become basically current affair from the business environment, from business world. Are you getting my point? So anything that has rocked the nation, that is really, really significant. When I say awards and honors, people, the first thing I would say in awards is, let's say the Nobel Prize is one award, correct? Then you have the awards such as the National Film Awards. That is one more award. You have Dada Saheb Phalke Award from the world of films. Yes, correct. So my point is that, yes, when Snap says it will last for the last 2 years, because Snap has 40 questions in the GK section, which is really significant, because 25% of the entire paper in Snap would be from the GK section. So understand, when you have 40 questions, then you have to slightly, widen the range of the GK that you would be asking. So instead of asking current affairs from 2017, you might have some questions from 2016 as well. You might have some questions from geography, from history. For example, in IIFT last year, there was a question that how many nations have border with this particular country. I mean, Bangladesh shares borders with which of the following, something like this. So there was a question from geography as well. ZAT GK is specifically about business. There is nothing else in it. They don't beat by the bush. ZAT GK, and secondly, in ZAT GK, it is not playing a role in the call. I mean, the cutoff that you will get in ZAT will not feature the ZAT GK thing. There is no need for you to worry much about the ZAT GK as such, because it is a separate section. It is not counted while giving calls to students. But in Snap, directly it is a part of the paper, and even in IFT it is a part of the paper and has its cutoff. And if you don't clear the cutoff, it's quite possible that you may not get call from IIFT. So my point is that instead of worrying about that, you have to prioritize. The most important is SNAP, because 25% of the paper is from GK, both in terms of number of questions and also in terms of weightage. Then GK becomes very important in TIS. I think in TIS you have 40% of the paper. I would recommend any kind of source people understand how many days you have. I mean, Manorama yearbook is such a thick book. I wonder for how many of you it is possible to run through all the pages and remember all that data. I will shoot some questions at you here. So the reason I am taking this session, people, is you have to just, yes, the cutoffs are very low. You have to just focus. See, for example, look at this now. In the month of January, something happened, right? And if you look at all these events, not of much significance. The only significant event I can see is that the nuclear capable Agni 4 missile was tested successfully. Now the point is, you might have a question, that the Agni 4 missile was tested by which organization, or on I mean, who played a very important role in the testing of the Agni missile, something like this. So this is significant, and people, avalanche killing so and so number of people in Kashmir, or heavy snowfall in Kashmir, or ABU International Dance Festival. So this might also qualify as a GK question, but I would not bother much about it. It's very specific, and even if I try to memorize, I would not remember it. So my point is that always go for something which is very, very important. And when I say what is important, I will show you something here. Look at this. The Union Budget of 2017 was presented on the 1st of February. Now this is a very, very important event. Why? Because usually the budget is presented on the 28th or the 29th of February. But this time it was presented on the 1st of February. I will give you all the content, people, don't worry. I will mail everything, the recording, and so you just relax. Don't worry about the content part, okay? So on February so this is important. So whenever you are reading something, you refer to one particular source, start preparing from that source, and then take a call whether this is important question or not. If it is important, you just take it down on a piece of paper. So Union Budget was presented on the 1st of February, and then earlier we had separate budgets for the railway and for the union, but this year the 92-year-old tradition of basically having a separate rail budget was given way by merging the union budget with the railway budget. So this is basically a significant event. So you might have a question on this. I mean, it is a probability, people. You will out of 26 questions in IIFT, you will definitely get around 5 to 6 questions which are based on common sense and which can be solved simply by elimination. There is no need for you to join any kind of course or go through any kind of material. These 5 to 6 questions would be simply based on simple common sense. Like, for example, we had last year a question that which of the following positions is appointed and not elected? And the answer was governor. The governor is appointed by the president. The governor is not elected. The prime minister, the chief minister, the president, they all are elected. So this kind of question is something which is based on very generic information. And if you have been reading, if you are a literate person, I think you should know such questions. And if you don't know, then I think no amount of preparation will basically give you that kind of GK that you need to prepare for that level. So my point is, people, don't panic about the GK stuff. So this is important. Then you had, look at this event, the event on the 15th of February. ISRO launched PSLV C-37 rocket, which put into orbit a record 104 satellites. Now this is basically the all-time greatest number. So there could be a question from this, that in the month of February, ISRO launched a rocket which put into orbit how many satellites? 100 plus or 90 plus? Or was it a world record or not? It's a world record. So this becomes a significant event, and therefore a question is likely to come from this. So you have to first decide what is significant, what is insignificant. A delegation going to some country for some purpose, there are countless delegations every year, Is it easy for you to memorize everything within a span of 1 month and say which delegation went for what purpose? No. So my point is, people, look at this, the event of March. On 6th of March, Indian Navy's oldest serving aircraft, INS Virat, decommissioned after 30 years. Usually it is limited to India. Much of the current affairs would be from the Indian context. Few will come from international zone. Few definitely business current affairs. There are few business current affairs that will definitely have international this to it. But the number of questions focused on the Indian in the Indian context would be greater in number. Are we clear about it, people? So the event on the 6th of March becomes very important, and therefore it's quite possible that I might have a question on this. Yes, international rankings, particularly the rankings at the edge. If you ask me what is ranking, I would say always see. Today there was a very important ranking released by the, I think by the World Bank, or I don't know which one, but they said that the ease of doing business in India, the ease of doing business in India has jumped by huge number. So it might become a question in Snap or IIFT. It has jumped by 30, right? The greatest increment ever, and it has been given by World Bank. The ease of doing business. So people, the question could be that recently India jumped 30 points in the ease of doing business rankings. Who presents that ranking? Right. So my point is that there could be many things. People, you have to just ensure that okay, you just go through some of them. So Forbes also presents its list of the richest people, or so you might have, who is the richest person in the world or the richest Indian. But these kind of rankings, people, multiple people give multiple rankings. A few months back, I read that Jeff Bezos has become the richest man, but he was there for a very short while because the share price of Amazon increased by some percentage. Jeff Bezos was the richest man only for 2 days or for 3 days, and then he became again a poor man. So my point is, you will not have GK questions on these kind of things till the 10th of November. Everything that you do for IFT, 10th of November. Are you getting my point, people? So I'm just telling you what is important, what is not important. And this year, people, we had again a very important event, and that was the elections in three to four different states. You had the election in Manipur, you had the elections in Goa, you had the elections in Punjab, and you had elections in UP. Right? So there might be a question, please match the column. You have CMs in the month of in the year 2017, and you have the states. So please match the match the pair. So you have CM of Punjab, and you have the name, and you have to match it with the state. This can be a good question, right? So people, my point is that when you go through the important events that happened in India in the month in the year 2017, you'll get to know many things that are significant. Yogi Adityanath took oath as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Biren Singh, Manipur. People, usually statics in IFT, static is just 20-30%. Much of it is current affairs. But the most unpredictable is TIS. In TIS, I remember one year there were plenty of questions from history. So TIS is the most unpredictable exam as far as GK is concerned. You never know what you might come across. So in TIS, I would say that you have to be very well read to crack that section. Now let's go down here, and in the month of June. So if you want to test people. Now we will take 10 questions back to back, and we will see how many of you get it correct. We will take 10 questions back to back, and you have to give marks when I declare the answers. You'll have to give marks to yourself and check out of 10 how many you got correct. And that way, yes, I will give the answer. Don't worry, I have the different sheet for the answer. Sir, if we only do the current affair in IFT, yes. If you do the current affairs for IFT, that would be more than enough. So look at this question now. Since 2017, 3 European airlines have gone bust. Which among the following is not one of them? Since August 2017, 3 airlines have gone bust. So you have 4 options, and I will tell the answer. Don't worry. I will come up with the answer and also the trivia. Okay, I will come up with the answer. The second question, people. Swachh Sarvekshan 2017 is basically a part of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. and every year in government of India does such survection and gives points and rankings to the countries, to the cities. I will share this file, don't worry people. So what is the answer for these people? Which of the following cities ranked one in the survey? Okay, I will tell you the answer is C for Indore, and the answer for one is Turkish Airlines. Okay. Now I will tell you how to basically memorize these answers, how to basically remember these answers. The Swachh Bharat Abhiyan was launched on the birth anniversary of which of the following leaders? Yes, people, please tell me. What is the logo of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan? Correct. This is the logo of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, right? And whose specs is it? The specs of Mahatma Gandhi. So you can directly guess by that, and you can mark A as the answer. Good, great, great. So people are taking great interest. It's very interesting. Take the fourth question. Which of the following films of Bollywood endorses the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan? If you are a Bollywood buff, I think you. This is see. Last year we had a question on actors and actresses and their first movie. Last year in IIFT we had a question on actors and actresses, and yes, there was a question, and we had to basically these were the names, and then we had the films. So you had to match the pair. The answer is Toilet Ek Prem Katha. Okay, so people, there might be a question on this. Yes. So movies also might be tested. We don't know because IFT is changing its color. It's trying to modernize. The fifth question: which of the following is a memorial dedicated to Mahatma Gandhi? Vijay Ghat, Kisan Ghat, Raj Ghat, or none of the above? I think Vijay Ghat is for Lal Bahadur Shastri, if I'm not wrong. But Raj Ghat is the answer. So we will see what the others are in a short while. Let's first finish 10 questions. Okay. And let's go to the next one now. Smart Cities Mission is an urban renewal and retrofitting program by the government of India with a mission to develop how many smart cities? So the government of India has how many smart cities in mind? So once you know the smart cities, you must also know that basically which are the smart cities that which are the cities that have come in the category of smart cities. So for example, in the GDPI, in the interview, if you are from Bhubaneswar and the interviewer knows that Bhubaneswar is a smart city, then my first question would be, so you are from Bhubaneswar, tell me, is Bhubaneswar a smart city or not? And should it be a smart city or not? So my point is GK is not important just from IFT and SNAP perspective. It plays a very, very important role in your interview as well, provided you get the calls. Right, people? So 100 is the answer. Let's take the next question, people. The Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana is a welfare program of the government of India for which of the following? So Ujjwala Yojana is not for pension or for free toilets. It's for LPG connections. Correct. So please keep, because this has been in the news since a long time. You will find it in the advertisement. The Prime Minister is appealing to the people that please give up your subsidy, right? So there has been a huge campaign by the government of India. So there could be a question on that. India is the world's second largest LPG importer, a position that was previously occupied by Japan. Which country occupies the #1 position? Which country is the biggest importer of LPG? Now, you should use your common sense, because China is having the largest, it's the most populated country in the world. The chances are that China would be the largest importer of LPG. Correct. The China is the answer, but we will have a look. We will have a look at the answers. Aadhaar, which means foundation, is a unique identity number issued to all Indian residents based on their biometric and demographic data. How many digits does the Aadhaar identity have? So it's a good question. We all carry the Aadhaar card, right? But we don't remember. So we have the Aadhaar card has 12. It has 12 digits on it, and this is. Let's look at this. As of September 2017, what percentage of estimated population aged 18 over has an Aadhaar number assigned? So when I say percentage, it is basically converting it. So 90%, 70%, 80%, or 99%. The surprising thing is the government of India claims that 99% of the population has Aadhaar card. So this is the first. How to study? So you will be planned regular RC classes or GK classes. Okay. Anyways, people, I will share the trivia. The trivia doc is RC classes. Yes, I have planned, but see, uh, how to study. Can you tell me the please what source except RC? Fine, people. I will come to that now. The RC thing. This is at par to, yes, this is almost at par, but see, we don't know, when I say the questions, that questions could be from anything and anywhere, but these questions are indicative. They're not. Look at the next question now. Which of the following companies is all set to launch India's first camel milk chocolate? It was there in the news a few days back. Amul is all set to launch India's first camel milk chocolate. It made a big news, and this could be a question. Yes, I will be sharing the Word document. Don't worry about it. FSSAI, right? We all buy food products, correct? We all buy food products. FSSAI is an autonomous body established under the Ministry of Health. What is the function of FSSAI? And you all have got it correct. The answer is to regulate food products. So FSSAI, and there could be one more question. What is basically the full form of FSSAI? Yes, people. So one way is basically knowing the answer what FSSAI does. But what is the full form of FSSAI? One is food. The other is what? Safety and Security Authority of India. Correct? Food Safety and Security Authority. I think this is what it means. I'm not very sure about it. But I think FSSAI means Food Safety and Security. Something like this, Authority of India. So it's a regulatory body. Correct? You just can't come out in the open and start selling anything. There has to be some safety standards which have to be met, and the FSSAI takes care of that. Correct? Look at this question. It's an interesting question. This has been there in the news since a long time, and the government of India has been making efforts. The Rohingya people are in the media talk these days. In which of the following countries are they being persecuted? And the answer is Myanmar, which is Burma. Correct? So again a current affair question, very common, and I don't expect you to get these kind of questions wrong, because if you can't get these kind of questions correct, that means you are a very poor reader. You just don't know what is happening around you. The next question: Myanmar does not share its borders with which of the following Indian states? Now this is, even I don't know. I will even I don't know what is the answer. Yes, people, can you take a guess? They made Burma a different colony altogether, and that is how Burma became a separate entity. And until 1935, Burma was basically a part of British India, and that's why many of the great Indians of before the independence era have also, many of them. Tripura is the answer. Yes, it could be. The Tripura could be the answer. Let me upload the answer sheet here. Just a moment. I'm having difficulty uploading it. I don't know. The read-only file. It's not. Uploading. Anyways, I will send you the document. Okay, this is a simple one. The headquarters of WHO is located in which of the following cities? Can you see now? I think you should be able to see this, right? The headquarters of World Health Organization is located in which of the following cities? Again, we have so many close options. The WHO headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland. I think Washington DC is for World Bank. People, please understand, Geneva is for WHO, and for Washington DC, I think the answer is the World Bank, right? If I'm not wrong, because they're very close. Paris, I think, is the headquarters of UNESCO, if I'm not wrong. IMF is also USA, right? So the headquarters and the organizations have been the favorite of IIFT. Every year, some or the other question has come uh, from the headquarters and the headquarters city or the country and the organization. For IMF, yes, where is the IMF headquarters? Anyone? I think it is in New York. Anyone with the IMF headquarters? I think the IMF, no, IMF headquarters is Washington DC. IMF is Washington DC, right? And World Bank headquarters is, I think, it is Washington DC. In fact, the headquarters of both the World Bank and the IMF are in the same city, and that is Washington DC. Okay, let's go to the next one now. Yes, 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 I just checked. The headquarters of both, they are opposite to okay, so good, good. So next question. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan was pioneered by which of the following prime ministers? Yes. The Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan was pioneered by which of the following prime ministers? It has been there since 2001. So if you know the year, then you can guess basically the prime minister. And in 2001, Atalji was the prime minister, and so it must have been the initiative of Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Correct? So there could be two different questions. The first is the Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan was pioneered in which of the following years? So I think it was 2000, 2001. Right? Now let's take the next one here, and it says, who among the following is the brand ambassador of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign? Yes, people have said Sania Nehwal, PV Sindhu, Sakshi Malik. Okay. By the way, who launched this scheme? It was launched by the Prime Minister, and I think the brand ambassador is Sakshi Malik. I'm not very sure, but I think Sakshi Malik is the brand ambassador, one of the brand ambassadors, right? Sakshi Malik is one of the brand ambassadors. The other was Parindri Chopra. So the brand ambassadors keep on changing, but yes, yes, she's the wrestler. Sakshi Malik is the wrestler, and she was the brand. In fact, people understand the brand ambassadors keep on changing. So it's quite possible that you might have more than one brand ambassador in different years for the same kind of thing. That also could be very, very important. Yes, recently PM Narendra Modi inaugurated the longest tunnel. Underwater tunnel, you know, people, that the government of West Bengal, India's first underwater rail tunnel is all set to be inaugurated. Underwater rail tunnel. Understand this, people. The question: underwater rail tunnel. Yes, it is the metro rail, and it is in Calcutta across the river Hooghly, West Bengal. So the rail tunnel will pass through the river Hooghly, connecting two different stations. And in fact, so the answer is West Bengal. The state is West Bengal, the city is Calcutta, and Calcutta Metro will get its first underwater, India's first underwater railway track. People, please log in and log out, you will see the question. If you log in and log out, you will see the question. Okay, so here we have again a question. Which of the following sports personality and sports type is not correctly matched? In fact, people match the column questions are very common in IIFT. So earlier we had a question and someone said that Sakshi Malik is the wrestler, and I would say that this pair is incorrect because Sakshi Malik is not a swimmer, she's a wrestler, and therefore this is basically the incorrect combination. The rest are correct. You know what is the achievement of Karnam Maleswari? Anyone? Apart from the fact that she was a weightlifting champion, what other fact do you know about Karnam Maleswari? She was the first Indian woman to win an Olympic medal, not gold, Olympic medal. It could be any medal, but she's the first Indian woman athlete to win a medal in the Olympics. I think she won the silver medal in weightlifting. So that becomes again a very important achievement. Deepa was not the first. Karnam Maleswari was the first. Deepa Karmakar was, I think, yeah, she won the bronze, and she was in gymnastics. Now, this is again a very important thing. How many times has the joint sessions of Parliament happened in independent India? The joint session of Parliament happens very rarely. And what do you mean by joint session, people? The Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, they come together, and that is how we have the joint session. I think it has been only twice. Joint session of the Parliament has been only twice. The third time it was this year. Can you tell me which year? I mean, for what purpose? The third time the Indian Parliament, yes, correct, very good. So the Indian Parliament had a joint session this year for the purpose of GST, and in the past there have been two occasions in which we had a joint session, and I think anyone aware of what those two sessions are? I think one was the emergency, and the other was the independence. There were only two occasions. One was the emergency, and the other was independence. I think so. Okay, no. The joint session has been only. I will give you in the trivia. It has been 3 times. We have had the joint session only 3 times. The first one was 1960. So people listen to this. The first joint session of Parliament was in the year 1960 for the Dowry Prohibition Act, and the second time we had the joint session, it was when the Banking Service Commission Repeal Act in 1978, and the third time we had the joint session was Prevention of Terrorism Act 2002. So in fact the GST guess was not right. So these are the 3 occasions in which we had the joint session of Parliament. So C is the answer. But let me confirm this. I think this is who is appointed as a new yes, people, someone has come as the new Comptroller and Auditor General of India. I think Rajiv Maharishi. Correct? Rajiv Maharishi has become the new Comptroller Auditor General of India. By the way, what is the function of Rajiv Maharishi? What does he do? What will he do? Correct. I think the answer should be 4 for this, because I would include GST as well. He does the auditing of all the government bills, and he is appointed by the president, and he enjoys the position at the pleasure of the president. Who is the Chief Justice of India, people? Deepak Mishra has become the new Chief Justice. Understand this. So you have some very, very important things happening this year. You have the new Comptroller Auditor General, you have the new Chief Justice of India, and then I think who is the Attorney General, people? Who is the new Attorney General? Anyone? Mukul Rohatgi was the Attorney General. He is no more the Attorney General. Is it Mukul Rohatgi? I think it is K.K. Venugopal. People, please confirm, because the Attorney General also. I think the Attorney General has changed. I think K.K. Venugopal is the one who is holding the current position. Yes, K.K. Venugopal, he is the 15th Attorney General. Okay, let's go to the next one now. The Nobel Prize is not awarded in which of the following categories? Very simple. Mathematics does not have the Nobel Prize here, so it's a very simple question. We can go to the next one. By the way, you must also know the names of the different people who have. Which of the following Nobel Prize did not belong to the initial category? Good, it's a very good question. Yes, people, any guesses? Which of the following Nobel Prize did not belong to the initial category of prizes which were distributed in 1901? Correct. Economics was not the Nobel Prize which was distributed in 1901. In fact, the Economics Nobel Prize came in 1969 when it was awarded for the first time by the Nobel Committee. So this is a very good question, and the Nobel Prize in Economics was not there in the initial list of prizes. How many people have won Nobel Prize posthumously? That means after their death. People have said 1, 2. How many people have won the Nobel Prize posthumously? Yes. The answer is 0. Nobel Prize is not given after their death. I mean, Nobel Prize is not given posthumously, people. Please understand. Of course, after the announcement, the person might pass away. That's a different thing. But the announcement, the Nobel Prize is always given to the person who is alive. At least while the announcement is being made, he should be alive. So the answer is D, 0. No, that's the reason why Mahatma Gandhi has, though he was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize many times, but I think no, she must have been announced and then she must have died. The Nobel Prize description categorically says that all the Nobel Prizes except one are presented in Stockholm, Sweden. Which prize is not presented in Stockholm, Sweden? So all these are given here. I mean, out of all these, except one. Yes, I think Peace Prize is not given in Stockholm. It is given in some other country. Is it Finland? Is Oslo, right? Finland's capital is Norway's capital is Oslo. Correct, people? I think I'm right. So in the capital city of Norway, the Peace Prize is given, and not in Sweden's capital, Stockholm. By the way, Alfred Nobel was a Swedish scientist, and he was the one. Where can we find these files that are uploaded? I will mail it. I will post it, people, don't worry. In which of the following months is the Nobel Prize presented? It's a very, very interesting question. You all are wrong. If you mark October, the announcement is done in October, but the presentation is done in the month of December. Understand, the question says presented and not announced. So the announcement has happened in the month of October, but on the 10th of December every year, the Nobel Prize is presented in Sweden and in Oslo. So understand this. There could be some very, very subtle questions just to trick you. Okay, who is the youngest recipient of the Nobel Prize across all categories? So we have a back-to-back questions on Nobel Prize itself. Who is the youngest recipient of Nobel Prize across all categories? The answer is Malala Yousafzai. She won the Nobel Prize at a very young age when she was, I think, 17 or 18. So this is again a very interesting thing because she's the youngest, and I'm not including a category. I'm saying across all categories. What contribution she won the Peace Prize? The only prize that you can get at a very young age is the Peace Prize, because you don't have to be a genius, right? And the only prize that you get at a very old age is the prize in literature, because all the people who are great writers, they win the prize only when they have turned 70 plus. So you know, Rudyard Kipling is the youngest Nobel Prize literature winner. Are you getting my point? So Rudyard Kipling, the one who wrote the Jungle Book, he received the Nobel Prize, I think, in 1903 or 1904 when he was just 42, and he is supposed to be the youngest recipient of the Nobel Prize in literature. That's a very, very important information, people. Just remember this, right? What is the name of the highest gallantry award? Paramveer Chakra, right? The Nobel Prize of which of the following was stolen in 2004? The Nobel Prize of which of the following recipients was stolen in 2004? Yes, any guesses? No. Nobel Prize of Rabindranath Tagore was stolen in 2004. from the Vishwa Bharati University. So the Vishwa Bharati University was the university of Rabindranath Tagore at Shantiniketan, and one fine day, his prize was stolen. The Nobel Committee gave a duplicate to the Shantiniketan, the Vishwa Bharati University, West Bengal, right? This can happen in India as well. The Nobel Prize is stolen by. It's funny. I was reading something and I realized it can be a very, very good question. So I thought, let's put it. And this way you tend to remember questions, right? Who was the first recipient of the Nobel Prize in Literature? The Nobel Prize in Literature. No, Leo Tolstoy never received. Like Mahatma Gandhi, Leo Tolstoy never received the Nobel Prize in Literature. People say he should have received. Rudyard Kipling was not the first. Sully Prudhomme was the first one. He was a French writer and is the first recipient of the Nobel Prize in Literature. In fact, the largest number of Nobel Prize in Literature has gone to France with an overwhelming number of 16 Nobel laureates. So France has 16 literature Nobel laureates, followed by, I think, UK, which is 40. But surprisingly, France has the highest number of. India has only one, Rabindranath Tagore, and that was way back in 1911. And since then, we haven't produced a literary giant capable of winning the Nobel Prize. That is again a very funny thing. Yes, not important, but you must keep this in mind. Just who among the following declined the Nobel Prize? This basically, I have designed questions with Nobel Prize special. So I thought that because it is a GK, we will keep one thing which is Nobel Prize special. Who among the following declined the Nobel Prize? John Paul Sartre declined the Nobel Prize, and I think Boris Pasternak declined, but he was. I don't know. I'm not sure about this. I will give you the answer. I think it was both 1 and 2. They both refused the Nobel Prize. Boris Pasternak was a Russian writer, novelist, and Jean Paul Sartre is the French philosopher. They declined. Boris Pasternak thought that if he accepts it, then the communist Soviet Union might run after his life, and that's why Boris Pasternak refused to take the Nobel Prize, accept the Nobel Prize. Jean Paul Sartre said that yes, Boris Pasternak was political reasons, and Jean Paul Sartre did not want to become institutionalized, and that's the reason he refused. So that is basically the reason he has given for declining the Nobel Prize. Which of the following countries boasts of the largest number of? Of course, it has to be USA. It has the largest number of Nobel recipients. Let's take the next one now. H1N1 influenza is related to which of the following diseases? Yes, people. H1 influenza is basically pig, and therefore it is swine flu. Swine basically means pig, and H1N1 influenza is spread by the. No, France was for literature only. This is overall. France for only literature. Longest tunnel, there are tunnels which is road tunnel, underwater tunnel, and an internet emailing. So this happened this year, people. It's a very important thing. An internet emailing service recently disclosed that all of its 2 billion accounts were hacked in 2013, resulting in the largest breach in history. Which of the following is that company? It is Yahoo, right? 2 billion accounts were hacked. Just imagine, it was a big news in the US. 2 billion accounts were hacked, and they have accepted this. By which year India is expected to surpass China and become the world's most populous country? I think 2025. The figures, the UN is revising the figures. So it was 2030. Now we are very good with it. So we have actually we are good at beating certain deadlines. So because we are good at beating certain deadlines, the 2030 has now become 2025. And if we are still good, then this 2025 might become 2022. And by the time you get your interview call, I think we might have surpassed. So we never know. So yes, 2025 is the recent estimation. Earlier it was 2030. Let's take the next one now. In which of the following years was the first caste census taken in independent India? This is a very, very important question because caste census have never been taken in India, but only on two occasions. The first time, in which of the following years was the first caste census taken in independent India? So the 2011 was the first time caste census was taken in independent India. Prior to that, in British India, it was taken in the year 1931. Why? Because the government thought that caste census might bring out some, announcing the figures. Because if you take the caste census, then you will have to come up with things like people from what caste are below poverty line, and the government thought that this might basically stir up, open Pandora's box. So they thought that let's keep it. Yes, correct. So reservation issue and all those issues. As of 2016, again a very good question, people. As of 2016, which of the following states of India ranks the highest in HDI? Kerala ranks the highest in HDI. In fact, if you look at the achievement overall, then in some of the, so if you want to take, see people, many of you would like to take guesses, right? Because you don't know the answer. So when you want to take guess, you must understand whenever there is any kind of positive development, and if you have the name of Kerala, I think 70% chances are that Kerala would basically be the answer, because it is one of the most so it is one of the most developed states in the country. It has the highest literacy rate. It has the highest HDI. Though the GDP is not very high. The GDP is highest for Goa. Goa has the highest GDP, and if you come across names like Bihar and UP and all these, they are really, really backward. So if something is negative and then you have to take a guesswork, just put either Bihar or UP. And so this is how you can take a guess, right? I do this and it usually turns out to be true. Correct? So GDP is highest for Goa, and Gonda is the filthiest city, I think, as per the recent. And I'm from that region, so I know very well what the reality is. Correct. 36. Who among the following prime ministers was the first to propose National Rural Employment Guarantee Act? Who proposed National Rural Employment Guarantee Act? Yes. It was in 2005, so I think that it must have been proposed by Manmohan Singh. No, the act was proposed by Narasimha Rao. The act was proposed by Narasimha Rao. It was passed under the reign of Manmohan Singh. So the first time to propose, so proposal is one thing and passing of the act is quite another. If you look at GST was proposed long time back. The GST Act was proposed long time back, but only under the rule of, yes, it was proposed way back in 2003. In fact, even before that. So we have been having number of committees who have been trying to just evaluate things and create a proper tax structure. Anganwadi is a type of rural mother and child care. Which year was it started? I think it is 1975. Just check with the figures, people. I think I will give you the answers. Of course, I have the answer sheet as well. I'm not able to upload because of the read-only issue, but the answer sheet is there. Well, recently we had the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in India, right? Who has won the FIFA's Under-17 World Cup? England, right? There could be a question on that. By the way, who were the defending champions? Who were the defending champions of FIFA Under-17 World Cup? Nigeria. Nigeria was the defending champion of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. No, it was the reigning champion. So this might become basically, see, this question I designed in the month of 15th October. But because it's a current affair, the reigning champion answer will change, and now it's no more Nigeria, it is England. Are you getting this point? So defending champion would be who was the defending champion. So just keep an eye on this. Of course, the current affairs keep on changing. So on October 2016, FIFA officially announced the official host cities for FIFA Under 17 World Cup. Which of the following is not one of them? So the FIFA Under 17 World Cup, which of the following was not one of them? Matches were played at Calcutta, right? The final was played in Calcutta. Kochi, did we have any matches in Kochi? I think Bangalore is the answer. Bangalore is the answer. I'm not very sure, but people. So just hold on for a day. There are answers of which I'm not sure. I'm telling you, I'm not very sure. So Vamsi is sure, and he says that Bangalore is the answer, right? See, there are so many questions I can't remember everything. So it's instead of saying that I know, I should rather be very cautious when I don't know, because we can confirm the answers, right? I will give you the answer. So don't worry about that. Next question: how many teams are participating? How many teams are participating in the current 2017 FIFA Under World Cup? Yes. How many teams are participating? 32 or 28 or 24? 32 teams have been participating. Someone says 24 for sure. "24" is the answer. Correct, 24 teams participated, okay? The next question. Who among the following is the only American president, that's a good question, to have been Republic Day chief guest? I think Barack Obama was the Republic Day chief guest, right? George W. Bush was never there. Clinton was never there. Right? Obama has been the chief guest. Which of the following is not a payment gateway in India? So again, something from business. Which of the following is not a payment gateway? It's a very simple question, people. Oyo is not a payment gateway, and there are many people who must not be knowing even this. Oyo is not a payment gateway. It is you know what it is. The European Free Trade Association is a regional trade organization and free trade area consisting of 4 European states. Which of the following is not one of them? I think Switzerland is not one of them. Iceland, Norway, Germany, and I think one of the Scandinavian nations. Yes, Finland is a part of it. Switzerland is not a part of it. The headquarters of ASEAN is in which of the following cities? Yes, people. ASEAN headquarters. IFT always asks questions on trade unions. And don't be surprised to see a question from this kind of. Yes, where is the headquarters of ASEAN? The headquarters of ASEAN is Jakarta, which is the capital of Indonesia. Okay, so this is, and you must also know the member countries. India is not a member of ASEAN, or is it a member of ASEAN? India is not a member of ASEAN. So please understand that. But SAARC, India is a member of SAARC, and ASEAN and SAARC, because they come in the same region, they often have some kind of trade dialogues. In 2017, PM Modi's visit to which of the following countries was the first by an Indian Prime Minister? Very important question, people. It made a big news, and PM Modi ji is the first Prime Minister to visit Israel. Very important, very interesting, and there could be a question on this. The 2017 G20 summit was held in which of the following cities? Yes, people. There are G5, G7, G20, and there are so many Gs with. You must. Yes, people. Which city? Hamburg. G20 Summit 2017 was in Hamburg, which is in Germany. So the answer is C. Which of the following countries is not a member of G20 group of nations? Please tell me. It's a very interesting question. Which of the following countries is not a member of the G20 group of? Yes, New Zealand. Correct. Turkey is a member of G20. South Africa is a member of G20. Correct. And Mexico is a member of G20. New Zealand, because of its size and because of its importance, is not a member of. Yes, it is New Zealand. It's a very small country, and people don't treat small countries. They don't give much importance to small countries, right? They don't play a very important role because there is strength in numbers, right, people? That's why India and China are everywhere, because they have numbers. The China has good numbers, and we have numbers only for the sake of numbers. Yes, it's GDP, right? Because the number is directly proportional. I mean, the if you look at the number of in the sense that both the economy as well as all these things, the New Zealand has overall a very good HDI and a very good per capita income, but because of the location, the place, and also the business dominance, right? So many factors come into it. Correct. 48th question. So the answer is D. For the previous one, it's D. In which of the following years was the G20 group established? I don't know this answer, but I think it is 1995. Anyone? The G20 was established in 1999. Let me check, people. I think. How many Gs do we have, by the way? How many Gs? We have so many Gs, people. We have G5. 26 September 1999 is the answer. So here is the exact date. 26th of September 1999 was the year in which the G20 group was established. G stands for group. The word G stands for group. Which among the following is not a part of G7 group of countries? I think India is not a part of G7. Sorry, India is not a part of G7. Or Canada. India is not a part of G7. Yes. The Chief Election Commissioner, I think someone new has been appointed. The last question for the day, people. The 2017 G7 summit was held in which of the following cities? It's a G7 summit. Anyone? It was in Italy. Rome. The host country was Rome. Italy. The city might not be correct, but Italy was the host country. So the city will change. I think it's Sicily. But Italy is the answer. Yes, Sicily is in Italy. Rome is not the answer. Sicily is in Italy, and therefore either we should have Sicily or we should have Italy as the country. India is part of G8. Yes. People understand these are the kind of questions you will come across. My point is that the reason I took this is because Achal Kumar Jyoti is the new Chief Election Commissioner. Correct. People please keep that in mind, because we all know different kind of things. So when you come to a session like this, you can share your answers, your information, so that from the 50 here we can get more 50 questions, and thereby we can increase our knowledge. Correct, people? So not much left with today, and these are the kind of questions that you can expect. Can we form we have formed a WhatsApp group. I would create one more. Usual cutoff for GK 2. I haven't seen the GK cutoff more than 2 marks. The GK cutoff has never been more than 2. 2, 1.5, 1.5, 1.75. But the point is, don't think just about the cutoff, because almost 13 to 14 marks are from GK, which is 14% of the entire paper. So people understand that if you can score 7 to 8 marks in the GK section, you already have lead over many other students. So one thing is, of course, ensure that you clear the cutoff, But the other thing is that you must also ensure that apart from clearing cutoff, you score 7 to 8. I know one of my students who got 90% questions correct in the GK, and I think he was one of the toppers way back in 2012, scoring the highest marks in IIFT. And because of GK, because he had scored all the almost 90% questions he got correct in the GK section. So that simply helped him take a lead of 10 marks. So where the cutoff usually is 47, if you have 10 marks more, it is 57. And 47, 57 basically means 47 is 97 percentile, 57 is 99.5 percentile. Understand? So this could be a huge difference between getting... People, I will take more questions. You can take my course, people. See, if you are interested in enrolling for a course, I have designed around 1500 odd questions. 500 is from current affairs, and 1000 questions from the static GK part, which is also generally relevant to books and authors and awards. But it is just a testing thing, you know. You have to test how good you are, and if you are good with 10 questions, you would be good with the next 10 questions as well. I can just give you the link here, people. So I would be coming up with this kind of live session. People, how was the session today? Just tell me. Like, did you like this kind of session? Please tell me, because I would like to take similar session once the CAT gets over. So, people, if you have liked the session, we can take similar sessions. And once the CAT gets over, I think it is on 26th. So from 27th, we can start with this kind of session. And I think that we have 5 to 6 days, right? So we can take 6 days back to back. Every day we can take around 70 questions, right? So you would have almost 400 questions, and that too from current affairs within a span of 6 days. And this, if you study this way, I think you will remember the question for a longer period of time. I think by interactive learning, you remember the thing for a longer period. But if you are doing it on your own, you don't tend to remember. That's the difference. So I thought of taking this kind of session. Right, people? So if you are interested in the course, people, I will give the details of my course. Don't worry about that. And I will upload documents as well. This has I will also announce the program tomorrow in mail. You all had shown interest, so you will get the program details as well. So do participate, people. See, it's a matter of 300-400 rupees, not much. But the good thing is that it also tends to increase your general knowledge, which you can use in the subsequent this. I will share the documents, the link of the WhatsApp group, the timetable, everything tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. I always do what I promise. You people must have been attending many of my sessions. I have taken sessions in verbal. I have taken sessions for GK, and we always deliver whatever we promise. It's not that just we promise and we don't reply. So you will get the link of the group, the link of the course, the link of the documents, everything. Okay, people, so just communicate this to your friends, and tomorrow you will get the notification. I will give the WhatsApp group this link, okay? So just hold on for a while. Everything is good so long as it helps you prepare the maximum in the shortest possible period of time.